getting
Okay.
that. I think we're getting that around November.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't see a date for it, so that's why I was like, wait, when is this coming out?
No, I've seen some animation. It seems nearly done, and I believe someone post like a news account posted on Twitter that it should come out towards the end of this year, which is something to look forward to.
Mm.
I hope so. So that means we'll be seeing Keith or hearing Keith one last time.
Oh, yes. I think what was the other one? Oh, yeah. I just want to know what was your thoughts on Keith singing in the movie for Chaos Rain today?
Oh my gosh, I did not know Keith could sing so well. I because because I originally watched the movie in French for at the French premiere for the movie. So when it came out in English, I watched it in English and was like, okay, let's see if Keith is gonna sing for uh, Gabriel. And when I heard it, I was like, wait, this is really good. Like he can genuinely sing. And then that one part where like he did the high note, I don't know like what the musical terms for it is, but the part where he did the high note towards the end of the song, I was like, Keith can sing, and we haven't heard him sing that many times. Of well, clearly because Miraculous isn't a musical show, but still, I was like, okay, Keith can sing, and I've never known this at all, and I don't think he's been in any other projects where his characters are required to sing. I'm so glad they let him sing. Like I really am because he truly is a talent.
Hmm. Like the I loved his song. Like um like he was like I know I was talking to this with some of my Revo buddies who are in Miraculous last like and then literally when we were watching this during cartoon nights, we were just like, oh my gosh, this is a Disney villain song.
Yes. I was like, this reminds me of like the old Disney movies I would watch. It sounds like a Disney villain song. I was like, okay, this makes me really nostalgic and I'm really glad he got his moment to shine.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh, is like this looks like something from Be Prepared or something.
Yeah.
Or things. And I kind of like how they kind of brought the Disney villain out of it. It's like we all know this is not a Disney film, but it's like the his song in particular sounds like a Disney villain song. And I think another song I would consider that kind of sounds like something from Disney would be Reaching Out, the one that Marinette sings.
Yeah.
That one literally sounds like it's a Disney princess song or something. Like when I heard it, I'm just like, this sounds like a Disney princess song.
What I really like about the musical aspect, because at first I was like, can Miraculous really pull off a musical? I was kind of skeptical about it, but I honestly feel like I cannot picture the movie without the songs. And this is actually due to the fact, because I speculated it a while back that Zag wrote the songs first before writing the movie. And then he later confirmed my suspicion in an interview where he was like, because he has a background in music, he wrote the songs first, like played it on a piano, gave it to his music team, and got an orchestra or whatever, and then composed a song. And then once he got all of his songs and was happy with how they sounded so far, he started to write the movie around those songs, which is exactly why if you remove the songs from the movie, you're going to miss a lot of integral character moments, especially for Marinette's part. um but I just love the fact that like this movie kind of proves um you can have a balance between good writing or decent writing and then really fun stuff as well, because yes, Keith's or Gabriel's song, Hawkmoth song, very much sounds like a stereotypical Disney villain, but that's okay. Like we want fun, like let him have fun, let it be fun. It doesn't really take away from the fact that um at his core, Gabriel Agreste is a very interesting villain. He can have his very crazy and campy moments where he's singing like a Disney villain, but that doesn't really take away from his character. It just makes the movie more fun and appealing.
Hmm. Yeah, like I think I saw someone like literally do like a funny they did like a funny thing on TikTok with the actual where I think they kind of put like all of the scenes from his part into it's like, oh, it's a Disney villain song thing. And I was like, yeah, this really does capture like the classic Disney villain song. And and I'm not sure if that was their intent, but they actually did a pretty good job. like
I agree.
like as soon as he said like chaos raid today, I was like, that part was I was just like, oh yeah, this is like classic Disney villain song. Let's go.
Right, but it also doesn't take away from what like the purpose of the butterfly miraculous is, because like we discussed like way earlier in this podcast, like the butterfly miraculous is the miraculous of chaos. So it's kind of like him embracing the chaos and getting lost within it, because he's like, okay, it's either I go big and go home or just don't do anything at all. So he's like, that song was his opportunity to kind of just embrace how much chaos is about to cause in Paris. And I just really liked that. It was a really fun song, and I don't ever see myself skipping that song ever.
Like the other songs are also strong too. Like um another favorite song of mine from the film was Courage in Me.
Oh my gosh.
That song just like surprised me, and I'm just like, wow, this is so powerful. And you kind of see like Marinette talking to Tiki in that short bit where she's like, okay, I need to embrace this because people are in danger. You know, it's kind of like like Marinette in the film is kind of like, I'm being dragged into this. I don't want to do it, but it's still calling out to. They kind of show that a bit in the TV show with Origins. Remember, she put the miraculous in Alia's bag, but then she's like, it's calling out to me, even though I don't feel confident in doing it. But encouraging me, it kind of shows her resolve where it's like, okay, I know I'm not confident to be a superhero, but there's collateral damage, there's chaos happening right now, and like it's calling out to me. Like it kind of gives you that vibe where it's like
Right.
it's like I'm not confident doing this, but it's like because there's some people, you know, in real life that says it's this is my calling. Yeah, like if you kind of see what I mean, like
Yeah.
Marinette initially, you could clearly see in the song "You Are Ladybug," she did not want to. She did not want to be a superhero, and it was pretty obvious. And of course, she got dragged into it because Tiki didn't care. She's like, "I can sense the courage you had," and then having that all culminate into courage in me. Oh my gosh, it was it was just superb the way that the way she did that, and it was just amazing that she's like, I know it's not something I want to do, you know, I'm not confident, and that's totally understandable because it's like um the thing that the TV show and the film have in common is that both like in both Marinette is not confident to be a superhero. We see that in Origins, you know. But I think what also is interesting is that with the film, you could kind of clearly see it like build up over time and with gradual and the fact that it all culminates into that song is I think it was just one of my favorite writing from the film.
No, I completely agree. I love how each and every single one of her songs has the same reoccurring theme that Marinette knows she actually does have the capability of being this person. Because she, like in her first song, If I Believe in Me, she's talking about all the vision she has for herself, but she never quite can reach that vision because she is preventing herself. Um, and then encouraging, and then in You Are a Ladybug, um, Tiki is clearly telling her, like, your struggles make you adapted for this role. Your humility also makes you a very good hero. Um, and I'm trying to remember the lyrics because it's stuck in my head in French, but I'm trying to like translate it in English. Um, I don't know, she was just basically saying that no, you are Ladybug. And I love the fact that it was Tiki who just transformed Marinette. Like she didn't even have to say spots on. Tiki was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it for you. Again, emphasizing how powerful the Miraculouses are. But it's kind of like it shows Marinette kind of needs to be thrown into it, because if you give her the choice of doing it, she's not gonna do it. But she kind of needs to be thrown into it to kind of, bring out that heroic side of her that's always been there, but she needed to see it for herself. And then encouraging me, she's talking about how like her struggles feel like a darkness. There's no stars, there's no like brightness at all. She's looking for the courage in her because you can't really look for something if you like when you're looking for something, you know it's there. Like, why look for something that you don't know is there? It just shows that she does have the courage inside of her. Um, and one of the lyrics that says, searching for the courage in me so that I can be braver than I've been before. Again, highlighting that she's never really been brave. She's always taken the easy way out. And she's kind of tired of taking the easy way out because there's a quote that your comfort zone, it eventually stops being comforting and becomes more of a prison. And she kind of wants to let herself out of it. So when she finally just kind of lets loose and she understands everything in life is scary, but hey, why not just embrace that fear? I'd rather live life kind of embracing the fear than, live life on the edge and always, kind of skeptical about everything and never really experiencing the true wonders of life. And that's when she finally decides to transform. And she's like, I'm not going back. I'm not going down without a fight. Like, she's ready to commit to this role. She's ready to commit to herself, being this person that she's always wanted to be. And she knows that she's always been capable of becoming.
Mhm. Like, I think what the film does pretty well too is that with Gabriel as as Hawkmoth, like when he's done, we see that montage in the film when he sends out, villain after Ladybug Cat Noir. But at the final battle, it's him himself. And I think that was very impactful um in the story because he's like, okay, these attempts, they're basically beating the villains I'm creating. It's like, okay, I need to confront them myself. like
Right.
like like you can clearly see that he was like you could see he was actually more threatening in the film than the TV show. Like like the film clearly shows how threatening he is, especially when
No, I
he
agree. Yeah.
like he like some people are kind of like, how come Marinette didn't really put up a fight? It's like, well, he got her in his hold. So it's like that kind of explains why she couldn't really do much as soon as he, think of it as like the chokehold from Star Wars.
Right.
You can't really do much if the villain's holding you in that place. So it's like to me, it's like I understand where the fandom is kind of like, why didn't she fight back? It's like she was in his hold. Like I didn't know the butterfly could do that, but but apparently he did that, and that's how he took away the earrings very easily. So I'm like, okay, I'm guessing he had her in his hold. That's why she couldn't do much. Meanwhile, with Cat Noir, you remember the cat Miraculous is a ring, so he actually had like Cat Noir was able to fight back a little bit at least, because it was on his hand. Meanwhile, if it's on your ears, and then if you're in a hold, you can't really do much to protect the earring, when you think about it in that aspect. Meanwhile, he's like, okay, I'm going to try my best to make sure he doesn't take my Miraculous. So he literally just scratches it and stuff. But I think that was clever because it's like, we all know the Miraculouses are like different pieces of jewelry. Like with the earrings, it's like, yeah, if you have her in a hold or like, restrict her hands and legs to keep her from escaping, it's easy to take the earrings from her. Meanwhile, with the hand, you can move your hand, and prevent, because I think with Cat Noir, he was holding him by the neck. But since he had the Cat Miraculous, it was on his hand, so he was able to at least fight back, even though he was, you know, even though he felt a little bit weak, and and everything. I think what was compelling though at the end of the film, like I kind of like it was like a funny jab where like Chloe is like, "Oh, you could count on me bullying you," and then Marinette's like, "You can count on me," like she's just sassy about it. It's like Marinette's like, "Well, I can't really do much about her bullying me, but I might as well just be like, okay."
I kind of hope that the second movie doesn't really tap more into Chloe's bullying, but I'd really love to see Chloe and Marinette's become frenemies. I feel like that'd be really cool. I'm a Chloe and Marinette frenemy enthusiast. Like I'd love to see that dynamic explored. Because we kind of got a glimpse of that in like was it Anna Maestro? But for the wrong reasons. Like I hate that episode. But the Chloe Net frenemy dynamic is something I'm really interested to see. So Chloe saying, "Oh, you can count on me bullying," like bullying's back on. I kind of want to, I want to see like that playful dynamic between her and Marinette in the second movie, where they possibly kind of become not friends, but not complete enemies at the same time. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, like it kind of seems like it's hinting it too. Because like Chloe's like, oh yeah, just so you know, I'm gonna keep bullying you. And then Marinette's like, okay, you can count on me. like it really does seem to hint that. It does seem to hint the frenemy thing. So I am curious of how the sequel of the film is going to um tackle that. I think also with I think what's funny is that in the film, I think when Marinette first meets Adrian, he thinks that she's weird. You know how
Yeah.
like in the TV show, Adrian's like, I was like, oh, I was like, she's klutzy, that's cute. Meanwhile, his movie counterpart's like, she's weird. like the change in that it made me like laugh so much. But
I think he
I
was
enjoyed
I
it.
think he was kind of like he found like in the movie, I think he was kind of weirded out by her, but at the same time intrigued as
Yeah.
well. He was like, I don't really come across people like that. She's really weird and strange, but I'm curious, you know?
Yeah, like I got that feeling too. It's like I think he was like weirded out but intrigued. Like it's like everyone else. I think probably from his perspective, all their other classmates is like normal. Don't come off weird. But Marinette here in the film is just comes off weird to him, but intrigues him, and everything. But I would have to say I like their dynamic more in the film too. Like like they kind of just build this like relation where it's like when they first meet, it's like, oh, that is typical realistic teenager behavior. and and the fact that it literally happens, that like I kind of like the changes they did for Marinette and Adrian because
Same.
we all know in the TV show it goes over the top where it's like Adrian's like, oh, I gotta obey my father. It's like it just it, well, film agents like calling his father out on his like behavior. I'm just like, like I love that because it shows the repercussions and consequences, you know. Because meanwhile, it's like it's so unrealistic that Adrian is just too nice, you know. Like it comes off a little like I know it's a cartoon TV show, but still, it's very unrealistic for someone to be that nice. um, to be too nice and everything. And of course, we all know Marinette tends to have all these pictures of Adrian and knowing his schedule, it's so over the top. Meanwhile, in the film, it's like, okay, this is more typical teenage behavior. Like Adrian is feels emotionally neglected, you know, calls his father out on that. And then meanwhile, Marinette is the other side of the coin where she's like, I have social anxiety, you know, I'm shy. I'm like I think she's kind of like those types of people where it's like, I don't know if people will like me, you know, because you know, when you're a teenager, you know, you do want to fit in, but at the same time you have like these insecurities and doubt about it. So I just love that Jeremy Zach just understood the assignment of yeah, this is what teenagers actually behave like. Like I think there was like this cute scene where they were with Alia and Nino and stuff, and then they were kind of hinting, "Do you guys know each other or something?" And then Alia's like, "That got awkward."
I
um,
love that scene.
I forgot what they were talking about. Was it like Nino? I think Nino said something about if they knew each other or something. Or
Um, I
trying to
think
remember exactly.
like Nino and Alia definitely knew each other, and then Nino and Adrian were talking about something, and then Alia and Marinette joined, and he was like, "Oh, hey Alia, hey Nino," um, and then Adrian Nino was like, "Oh, by the way, this is my friend Adrian," and Marinette is like, "Oh, we already met," and then they're like, "Okay." Kind of strange because again for like Adrian doesn't really talk to anybody else.
Mm,
So Nino finding out that Adrian actually met Marinette and they know each other is kind of a bit weird for him. And also Alia is like, okay, no one really likes Marinette in the school and they find her really weird. So for Adrian to have like, kind of tolerated Marinette and knows her name, they're like, okay, you guys have a secret. Like, what happened whilst we weren't there? Like, what went down? And they're like, no, nothing really happened other than me just being weird and like falling over in the library and and then Alia being like, oh, okay, that got awkward.
yeah. It's like, but it added nuance that, you know, they're teenagers, you know, as soon as like Alia and Nina were like, give us the deeds. What happened when you guys first met? And they're like, Marinette and Adrian in the film are like, we're not telling you anything. There's nothing that happened and stuff. So like he just understood, yes, this is what teenagers actually act like and behave. Because you can clearly see that I think there was an interesting deleted scene. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Guy. They I think it was like Netflix after school posted it on the YouTube. Like
I saw that.
they put like deleted scenes that didn't make it into the final film. And there was a scene with Adrian and Marinette. And we clearly see that Adrian was literally telling Marinette about, you know, about his mom, I think, in that deleted scene. I'm like, huh, I wonder why they left this out. It could have added some nuance, you know, where, you know, he's slowly starting to trust Marinette. Um, but I think I think the ending, everyone was like super happy.
Yeah,
Because
for
they're like,
sure.
because you know how like we're the type it's like, oh, the reveal's gonna happen sooner or later. And then you know Thomas's True here just like teasing us with no reveal going on. And then in the film, Jeremy Zag's like, oh, let's just have Marinette straight up put the mask on and say, Ladybug, and then he starts
No,
crying.
like Jeremy was not wasting time. He was like, okay, I've got some stuff to do. I'm not gonna waste time. I'm just gonna do it because enough is enough. 5 seasons is more than enough. You clearly don't want the reveal. Okay, I'm just gonna do it in this other universe and feed fans what they want, and they can't complain. And it's like it made sense. It just made sense. Like I was so happy that he did it. He wasn't trying to stretch it out across like 3 movies. Um, it just made sense.
I was just super happy when we saw it. We're just like, yes, the reveal. like, but you gotta admit, like their formal clothes are really beautiful in film. Like, I love that Marinette is literally a ladybug, and you can see like the light blue is like the wing, and like their clothes was just really adorable. But I was confused because I see everyone else wearing masks except Marinette. I was wondering why she was the only one not wearing a mask.
I think it's because she kind of wanted to embrace. I think that was the point of having the ladybug dress because I know the original dress that she was designed to have was pink. Because I saw it from the concept art and Bron. I think with the original pink dress, she would have worn the mask, but with the ladybug dress, she's kind of embracing both sides as one. Because throughout the film, she kind of separated her identities, and she didn't think that she was. I don't know. She kind of placed more importance of on Ladybug, and she specifically said, like towards the final battle, she was like, "I need Ladybug," and Tiki was like, "You don't need the mask."
Mhm.
To be who you already are. Like you are Ladybug just as much as you're Marinette. So Lady Dress was kind of her embracing that identity, like, obvious to Paris that look, I'm Ladybug,
Mhm.
way of saying,
And
okay, this is my identity. Both sides of me are one. I'm not gonna wear a mask. I'm just gonna go into the ball. And also because throughout the movie, or at least the first, like the beginning of the movie, Marinette was very socially anxious and she'd always hide her face. She'd always like, be kind of cautious of herself and self-conscious. But towards the end of at the ball, she's like, no, I'm not gonna hide my face. You're gonna see my face very clearly. Everyone's wearing a mask. No, this is the first time where I am owning being who I am, embracing my imperfections and my great qualities. I'm not gonna wear a mask. I'm just gonna be who I am, the person that I've always worn without any regrets. So I actually really am glad with the decision that was made for her to not wear the mask. I was confused at first, but then I had to kind of think about it
mm, that's quite interesting.
just a
Quite
little
interesting
bit.
perspective. Like, but it made sense because she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna wear a mask, but I'll just like use Adrian's mask and then just say, or you could call me Ladybug. I think that was very impactful, because like, she found out Adrian's identity because, during their final battle, you know, with Hawkbomb
Hmm.
in the film. So that's why she's like, he does deserve to know who Ladybug is because you can clearly see before she went to him, he's like, um, we're at peace, but I miss you so much. And and
Yes.
and I think that was very impactful that they, it's like you said, like it's an interesting perspective where she's embracing her imperfection, and also embracing her superhero identity as well, by wearing the dress pattern to look like a ladybug and then not wearing a mask. So I think it was very impactful to do it that way. And and the fact that as soon as the reveal, like I kind of like how Adrian actually got emotional there too. Like as soon as she said ladybug, he's like smiling, and then when you go to the next frame when it shows him again, you can see a tear coming down his eye. And I'm just like, oh,
You,
it's it's like adorable.
I think that was the perfect reaction.
Yeah, because it makes
I
me
love the idea of not, I Look,
Like, I'm just wondering, like, how would the reveal be? How different would the reveal be in the TV show? Because in the film, we already see it. Like, he's like emotional, he's smiling, and then they share a dance together. And of course, it already hints they were gonna kiss, and it's like, really, you had to tease us that way. But then again, I realized in season 5 they do kiss. It's like, I want more Agent food, please, please just show the kiss instead of just cutting off at when they're dancing at the end of the film. And I'm just like, bruh, it's like we waited so long for them to kiss, and then you're like, and then you just cut it off when they're about to kiss at the end of the film. And I was just like, why? Why are you doing this to us? Um, but it makes me wonder how they're going to do the reveal in the TV show. I understand, it's a gag in the show where it's like they like to like delay it, like but at this point I'm kind of like the film gave us what the TV show didn't. like
right.
like we see that, like, okay, so film agent is actually smiling and shedding a tear, that like, oh, okay, so you're ladybug, okay, so um and everything, like, it makes me wonder how different would the reveal be in the TV show.
I think the TV show definitely has its its fair cards to play, and it definitely needs to match the standards that the movie sets. Because, like you said, movie Adrian's reaction was just perfect. Really makes sense how, like, why he was crying, giving his arc and everything. Because him, getting closer and comfortable around Marinette, but also falling for Ladybug, and then realizing the two girls are the actually one person. And also because, like, being a hero was kind of like his gateway into happiness. Like, he needed that escape, he needed to be a hero, like same way in the show. It's pretty much this similar. And it was through being a hero that he was able to experience what it means to open your heart again. And that's when he met Ladybug. So at the end, when he's like, oh, the turmoil is like over, but there's still like turmoil in my heart or whatever, and I miss you every day. And he's like, wait, no, Ladybug is here. She, in fact, attends the same school that I go to, and she's actually one of my closest friends. So it's kind of like, I think it was kind of like relief, because I feel like he felt like he lost one thing after gaining another. So, getting closure from his father, that's what he gained. But then at the same time, since chaos is over, he lost Ladybug until, she revealed her identity and said, no, I'm Ladybug. So he kind of felt relief, but also like overjoyed and happy. And I I just love the fact that he just automatically knew that she was Ladybug. And there's nuances. Like, people have complained that, oh, we should have seen him kind of think about it a little bit more. But I was like, no, I think the reaction was like perfect and it made sense. With the show, since the show decided to go down Adrianette pre-reveal dating, it's kind of like, okay, 100% it's gonna have to be like the reversal, where Ladybug or Cat Noir is detransforming, and then they see it for their own eyes. Whereas in the movie it was, Ladybug saying, or Marinette saying, I'm Ladybug, which I really like. I like the fact that it wasn't her detransforming, it was rather just her telling him, which makes sense in the context of the movie. But in the show, I'm guessing they're gonna have to go through the other way around, and have, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really that excited about the reveal in the show, because we've kind of seen about 3 different scenarios, and each one of them just keeps getting like retconned or something. So it's like, how many more times are we going to actually see the reveal for us to eventually care about it? It's to the point where if the reveal happens, I'm just like, okay, like, cool. Cool. Like, it better be a good dramatic moment that makes sense. But now that Gabriel is gone, okay, like, nothing should really be stopping them from having a reveal.
Yeah, like I think it's like you said, they probably may have to do the because it's you know, the TV show is different from the film, and it and in the context of the story of the film, it makes a lot of sense for Ned herself to actually say it, you know, and literally just tell Adrian, "Oh yeah, I'm Ladybug," you know, um, because when you think about it, it makes sense because Marinette kind of like she saw his identity, so I think maybe in a way she's like, I should just tell him I'm Ladybug because I found out who he is, you know, because of Hawkmoth was like beating his own son up and stuff in the film. So she's like he like in a way she's like, I do owe him, you know, I do owe him that I saw his identity, so I should just let him see me, you know, and I think that's what was very like interesting to because it's like you said, in the show, they just do what if, you know? Like, I think the very first one was like Cat Blanc, some I think was like a what if or some.
I think it was Oblivio and then Cat Blanc in the same season. No. Oh my gosh. It actually was as early as season 2, but it was Dark Owl where they were both in that locked cage, but they kept their eyes closed, but closed, and only Tiki and Plag like saw each other's holders. And then we got Oblivio, and then we got Cat Blanc, and then we got Ephemeral. It's just like it's so like annoying now. It's like, come on, we've seen like how many times are you gonna flesh out a what if scenario?
Yeah. Yeah, the what yeah, so unfortunately we will have to end this live stream. It was a pleasure to have you here, Guy. It was so much fun talking about the characters' portrayals
It
of
was.
and comparing it between the TV show and the film. I'm so glad the film came at before we started doing this because I wanted to see how different the character portrayals were from the TV show and the film. And yeah, we Guy will be a permanent guest here for the Lucky Charm podcast. So it's going to be so much fun, you know, to talk about the other aspects of Miraculous. And and do not worry, everyone. I will be doing I am scheduling with Radar for the next Sonic Lore with Radar. It should be coming soon, hopefully. For that, and I will be stay tuned for the Q&A with Polly B and Victor McKnight. Very, very amazing Sonic musicians I'm going to be doing a Q&A with. So, do you have any final words, Guy?
Thank you guys so much for inviting me onto this live stream. I've actually had so much fun. It's been a while since I've been on a podcast. And yeah, I agree with you. I really appreciate the fact that the movie came out when it did come out to really just talk about how much Miraculous has kind of changed over the years and compare the show and the movie against one another, which was like really cool. And I look forward to doing this again some other time.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Lucky Charm podcast is going to be once a month as well. So it was a pleasure, like I said, to have you here. And hopefully I can get more special guests to join us for these. um, but it's a great start to have you here, Guy.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, so may you all have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.